I wanted to gather all the activities, all the lessons learned, and share with you how it has been for me to run my online coaching business, traveling with my 4-year-old, and also how it helped me evolve as a person and also as an online business owner. Plus, it made me learn a few things about myself and also about my son. Lesson 1, I had to understand that nothing is predictable, especially because in each and every single situation, both of us are adapting and both of us are not adapting the same way. And it took me a while to understand that. In fact, I understood that Theo needed to have a routine, especially in the morning and at the end of the day. At first, I really thought that it was impossible for me to do some work when Theo was around, so I shifted my schedule and was only working from 8 p.m. until midnight, and then I just had a few calls during the day, but it was something very exceptional until I got into this podcast interview where it was a friend of mine and she was like, leave Theo inside, leave Theo there, it doesn't matter, let him get involved, let him stop the interview and come and show you what's on his iPad and stuff like that. And actually it was a great experience. In fact, it was better this way than when I told Theo not to show up while I was doing the interviews. So yeah, big lesson learned here. I also realized that he loves to be involved. So whenever I'm doing something and he gets in the video and tells me about what he wants to share, then he's happy and it's easier for me to get going afterwards because he felt that he had a part to play in it. Another lesson that I learned is that Theo needs to have his spot in what I am doing. I've done a ton while traveling with him and I'm still traveling with him. So TikTok videos, shorts videos, YouTube long videos, what else? Reels, interviews, sales calls, client calls, connection calls. All of these are things that I had to run while I had Theo with me, and it was extremely doable. Right now I'm recording this video. I am with some family and one of my little cousins is right there and I'm recording this video and he's playing and there's nothing wrong with it, right? I used to believe that it was not professional to have noises or other kids around and stuff like that until someone was like, wait a minute, like stop with that BS, right? Because it used to be like that. I would say maybe 10, 15 years ago, whenever you were recording something, if there were background noise or if there were kids or something that would kind of like take the attention away from what you were saying on the camera, then it was a big problem. Well, I decided that it's not a problem anymore, and if watching me it disturbs you to hear that noise, then it just means that you're not my audience. But if you keep watching, it's because the value that I bring and my message is more important than that background noise. All this traveling and this experience made me realize that I work with the right people, because it never happened that I was on a client call or that I was on a podcast interview or that I was connecting with someone and I had my kid around or some background noise, or because I'm traveling and I'm not necessarily always at the same place, some different setting and all that stuff. Well, no one ever told me that it bothered them. And that really reassured me to say that I'm working with the right people. I want to say that, because a 4-year-old doesn't really have the same type of day every day. So sometimes there are days that were harder than others, but most of the time I would say that we were able to manage and I kept going into doing what I needed to do. Another lesson learned is that playing and disconnecting is really important for both of us. I learned to work in spurts of time, so 1 hour to 1 hour and a half, and then have 15 to 30 minutes of playtime and disconnect time with Theo, and that went great. So we take some time to go to the park, to sing, to dance, to do any type of activity that would take me away from the work that I was doing, and also would show him that I'm paying attention to him and to what he does. With time, I realized that the more that I give him that attention, the more he is able to let me work when I have to work, and also the more that he feels that he's part of the whole experience. I also realized by doing that type of schedule, I'm able to accomplish more within the smaller amount of time that I have. So it forces me to be more productive and really focus on the important things and get rid of everything that's not necessary. But I think that the biggest lesson that I learned, and it's a skill set that I developed over the years, is that I have the capacity to speak to any type of stranger. And I'm not afraid to do that in any country, in any situation. So being able to talk to any stranger is actually helping me have the best experience possible to whichever country I go to or whoever I meet. So I made a bunch of friends, even though I've been traveling just for the last few months, and these people are checking in on me, and it's like meaningful relationships that I feel that are important in my life right now. And it's all because I learned over time that everyone we meet on our path has something to bring to our path and also to make me learn. So I'm very grateful for these new friendships and looking forward to seeing where these might lead. I also learned that there are opportunities everywhere. I mean, it's just the matter of having the courage to speak up and interact with other people, talk about our common values or about things that are important to us, and then it leads to meet other people and expand the network, and also realize that, oh my God, like those degrees of separation leading you towards something that you've been wanting to gain or to get for the longest time is closer than you think. That's it. And it's all because you had the courage to open your mouth and talk to someone you didn't know before, who became someone that you know pretty well now. So while I was traveling, I was still able to expand my network. I attended a live event at one of the cities I visited, and I also made a bunch of friends in another country that I visited. So yeah, I feel that I'm full of lessons learned, and that it's not over. I know that they're going to continue these lessons, and that's why I decided to embrace that online coaching journey. And if you have any type of experience that you've done with traveling and with being with your kids all the time, and if you have a different vision of what you want to accomplish in life, or how you're living your life, I would love to see it in the comments below. And in the meantime, because I've been talking about life lessons, check out my other video on what it means or what you need to become or to be a great entrepreneur. Watch this.